Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the second tutorial in my Visual Basic tutorial series. We're going to do some progress bar practice, so you could just make a new form. It doesn't matter what it's called, just make a new form. I'm going to try to go through the designing as quick as possible so I can actually teach you the code. So we're going to need two buttons, two labels, and a timer and a progress bar. So let's get the progress bar here, label 2 down here, label 1 in the middle, button 2 up in the corner, and button 1 also up in the other corner. So first off, let's make the progress bar a little longer, and let's resize our form a little bit. First off, we're going to rename, actually we'll do label 1 last, we're going to rename button 1 to start, button 2 to reset, label 2 is going to be 0%, and label 1 is going to say Visual Basic. And we're just also going to make the font bold, and we'll make it a little bit bigger so it kind of stands out. Alright, now that coding is done, and it's always nice to reset the text of the form, so we're going to say progress bar practice. Alright, double click on start, and we're going to start getting into our coding, and all it's button 1 is going to do is timer 1 dot start. The timer is very important. You always want to have a timer when you do a progress bar. It makes it so much easier, and it's required in most situations. So first, let's pin these off because we don't need any more from them. We're going to do progress bar 1 dot increment, and we're going to put a 1. Let me explain this a little bit, because I was confused when I first heard increment. I was like, what is that? But increment pretty much means it increases. This is what it's going to increase by. 1 is just like saying plus 1, except most people when they code, they don't say plus 1, they simply say 1. You could also say minus 1 if you want it to decrease, but we're just going to keep it as 1 because the progress bar will be increasing by 1. Alright, now the next major thing I'm going to be teaching you is going to be an if statement. An if statement, you may have heard it before, it's pretty much saying if this happens, then this will happen. So let me give you an example of that. We're going to say if progress bar 1 dot value is equal to 100, so if it's loaded, it's done, everything's at 100, blah blah blah, then, and you could even, once you're done with this, press enter and it'll automatically give you a then, but it's not important right now. So if progress bar dot value equals 100, then we're going to have label 1 dot text equal hello. So pretty much this label 1, let me just make sure that's label 1. Yeah, alright. It's pretty much saying that label 1 is going to say hello once this is all loaded right here. Alright, that's going to be our major thing. Also, when they press this button, label 2.text will equal progress bar 1.value, and make sure it's not a plus sign, it has to be an and sign or else all the coding and everything will be different, and space %. Alright, and also when you're making this label, make sure that there's a space between the 0 and the %, or else it won't work that well. Actually, you know what? We don't need a space between this. All we have to do is make this like that. Alright, so pretty much what this is saying is when timer 1 is going or whatever, label 2.text will equal the progress bar value and the %. Alright, now the last thing, I'm going to explain that a little further once I actually show you what it does. You'll understand a little better. We're going to double click on the reset, and we're going to type timer 1.stop. Obviously, that will just stop the timer and won't reset anything, but we're going to reset it. We're actually going to reset it. So let's say we have label1.text goes back to Visual Basic, and label2.text will equal to 0%. Oh, also progress bar 1.value will equal to 0. Oh, also with the if statement, as you can see here, if progress1.value equals 100, then label1.text equals hello. That's what I was saying before about if this happens, then that happens. Alright? So if we see here, we have the Visual Basic, and if we press, actually let me see something. Let's see. Right, it's not on here. I click on the timer. I'm going to make the interval equal to 20 so it goes a little faster, so it's not super slow. So you see here, this is going, the whole thing fills up. Once it's at 100, it says hello, and if we reset it, everything's reset. I'm actually going to put this back to 100 because that was a little fast for me to explain, and I'll put it at 50. Alright, so pretty much our code is supposed to make this go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way up to 100. This change into hello once this reaches 100%. So let's see. So as you can see, this is going up correctly. And let's watch for our Visual Basic, and there we are. It says hello. And then if we reset, this should go back to Visual Basic, this should go back to 0, and this should be at this should be white. And there we go. So I hope you guys learned something from this video. I'm probably going to have a more advanced version of this in the future, maybe. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.